floor, right? Is that the song?
Yeah, but it's a good song in a terrible situation, so it's not.
It's not
doesn't
appropriate.
Seem appropriate at all.
Yeah, it is.
No.
But that's what they want. They want to drop as many people as they can before they go out. And if you would get rid of these damn gun-free zones and allow these people that have concealed weapons permits that have been vetted, or even those states that have constitutional carry where you don't even, thank goodness, need a permit, to allow them to be to carry their firearms wherever they're lawfully allowed to be. Yeah. Then perhaps the playing field, which is a bad metaphor, the battlefield would be leveled. And maybe we wouldn't have these kinds of atrocities. And maybe these kinds of people would think twice before they go in to a nightclub where maybe 30% of the people in there might have a firearm to shoot back at them. And that's what he doesn't get.
Yeah. You think it's a little ironic that he and previous presidents, I mean, not just him, but are actually...
Bus stop around?
They're giving actual weapons of war to terrorists? Like actually shipping, like rocket launchers and tanks and
that's
things.
The other thing that just pisses me off is people say, well, you're paranoid because you think you can fight against the government if you have your little guns and stuff, but they have tanks and airplanes and all this stuff. Well, that's true, but then why is our government shipping thousands and thousands of automatic weapons to like Syria and other countries in the Middle East to fight the government that's in power? You would think that if those types of firearms weren't effective, they wouldn't send them over there. They would just send over, their tanks.
Well, they do that also.
Yeah. But my point is they send millions of rifles over there for the so-called freedom fighters to fight back against their government. Why can't our government have those same armaments?
Yeah. It's horrible. So let's take a break real quick. We come back.
Was that the end of it?
No, but all right.
I think you should play it before we go to break.
Right. We should give ATF the resources they need to enforce the gun laws that we already have.
They already have it.
People with possible ties to terrorism who aren't allowed on a plane shouldn't be allowed to buy a gun.
Disagree with that entirely,
like
right?
Mr. Kennedy?
Well, the thing is, you have no due process. How are you put on the list? If you are a political rival for somebody, they put you on the list, they deny you of your constitutional rights. Listen, if these people are so dangerous that they can't fly or they aren't allowed to buy a gun, then arrest them.
Yeah, why are they walking around
and let a court
free
and a jury of their peers decide whether they are guilty or not, and then restrict their freedom or their rights of the Second Amendment. But to put them on a list and deny it, that's crap. And if this country, we'll get to that in a minute with the Democratic filibuster, but oh my God, that makes me so mad. You can't deny people's right by putting on a list. I mean, that's Orwellian.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Democrats, but there were Republicans that are involved in this too.
And maybe Trump. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll get into that, but let's listen to the rest of it, and we'll go into break.
Enough talking about being tough on terrorism.
Yeah.
Actually be tough on terrorism. And stop making it easy as possible for terrorists to buy assault weapons.
But I think that's not really being tough on terrorism.
No, it's not. But I think his statement of stop talking about being tough on terrorism and start actually being tough on terrorism.
That's good.
Would be great advice for him.
But restricting firearm rights from potentially law-abiding citizens is not the way to go about it.
Reinstate the assault weapons ban. Make it harder for terrorists to use these weapons to kill us.
Yeah. Disagree.
Otherwise,
hasn't worked.
Despite extraordinary efforts across our government.
Oh, I don't know about that.
By local law enforcement, by our intelligence agencies, by our military, despite all the sacrifices that folks make.
Disagree with that.
These kinds of events are going to keep on happening.
I agree with that.
And the weapons are only going to get more powerful.
I'm excited.
And let me make a final point. For a while now, the main...
All right, I don't care. I'm excited that and he's predicting, and I don't know how, but he's predicting that there's going to actually be more powerful, I assume, assault weapons, because that's what he was talking about.
There's going to even be more. Actually, we were talking before the show that our weapons have actually decreased in their power.
Well, such as the AR-15, the M16, right?
Is less than the M1 Garand, which is a 30-06.
And I was what I asked you, and you completely dodged the question because you didn't know the answer, was what was the last time that a more powerful gun or round was created? And I don't know the answer either, but it hasn't been like extremely recent history. It's not like every month, if we don't do something about assault weapons, next month there's going to be a more powerful round out there.
And pretty soon you'll be able to buy a rifle that shoots an atomic bomb.
Really?
In 6 months.
That'd be awesome.
That's an exponential growth.
Yeah, it's like Moore's Law for guns. You don't know what that is.
I do know what it is. I do. It's computer stuff, and now fast and fast the computers get. And all that stuff. Yeah, I do know.
We'll be right back.
Screw you!
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
What? The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-680-9903. That's 1-800-680-9903. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-680-9903. That's 1-800-680-9903.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
At Odds.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-4716. That's 1-800-353-4716. Again, 1-800-353-4716.
And welcome back to At Odds. I'm Nate. That's Brian.
Howdy ho.
We were, I guess we're still on gun control, right? I think.
Well, yeah. We
can move on a little bit away from the Orlando, like the details of the Orlando shooting. But Donald Trump put a tweet out saying he was going to meet with the NRA to talk about not allowing people who are on the terror watch list to buy firearms. Yeah. And everyone went nuts.
Crazy.
Said he flip-flop, flip-flop. I don't think it's a flip-flop necessarily.
Yeah, because he never said he supported it necessarily.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that technical out that
but
he could be going there to try to convince the NRA to stop supporting gun control. That'd be great. I hope that's what he's doing.
Well, but the history of NRA is to actually,
support gun control.
Yeah, and actually written some of the most onerous gun control laws in our 100-year history.
I guess what I'm saying is, as far as flip-flopping, the idea of not allowing people on the terror watch list to buy firearms or have certain freedoms, that's not a foreign concept to Republicans. There's plenty of Republicans that think that's the right thing to do because they're so anti-terrorist that if you're even suspected...
Or anti-Constitution.
Right. Well, I mean, for example, think of
a simple concept.
Think of all the Republicans that say, share this if you think that if you're under investigation by the FBI, you shouldn't be allowed to run for president.
Right.
What's the difference? It's exactly the same. You're taking away a right from somebody because they're
based on
being investigated.
Right. And anybody
you want
can
to talk about due process? Come on.
Investigated for anything. For
Come on.
Any
of
reason.
course, we're referring to Hillary Clinton, who is being investigated and is running for president.
And I use that with my liberal Democratic friends. I said, listen, if you want to ban people from buying guns because they're being investigated by the FBI, then maybe Hillary Clinton shouldn't be allowed to run for president for the same, logical argument.
Yeah. The problem is there's a lot of conservative Republicans that think that that's actually the case, that she shouldn't be allowed to run.
Right.
And there's a lot of conservative Republicans that think terrorists are so bad that if you're on the terror watch list...
Right. We do whatever we can for people's safety because nothing says safety like infringing on people's freedoms.
Well, the Patriot Act, right?
And they voted for that.
NDAA,
yes, and they voted for that.
So, come on now. Related to that, the Democrats had a nice filibuster. It didn't get as much press as like Ted Cruz's or Rand Paul's, I don't think, but 14 hours, that's respectable. It's a long time.
Not bad.
To not go.
They were talking about their kids and hockey games and everything else.
Yeah, it was horrible. So anyway, they were filibustering. It was a Democrat, Chris Murphy from Connecticut, said he was going to filibuster until the Republicans agreed to take a vote on gun control. Right. And apparently, he said that Mitch McConnell did agree to vote on it.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is put a couple amendments on a spending bill that they're trying to get through because. Spending bill's the best place to have gun control.
Right. And what were those amendments?
Oh, there's a bunch of them, but so
two biggies.
Dianne Feinstein, right? And Republican Senator John Cornyn, they got together
for all places.
Yeah, they got together to write an amendment that would allow the Attorney General to prevent anybody that's been under investigation that's a suspected terrorist, whatever that means, to revoke their gun rights.
ridiculous.
Now, he was a little concerned because he was a Republican. He said, that's not enough due process. So what should really happen is that a court should have to approve it within 3 days.
Oh, that's impossible.
Oh, come on.
But maybe a conviction in a court of law might be something.
Yeah, that might